a solo screen just to introduce you guys.
All right.
You know we still here. The sun is coming up.
Good evening, everyone. As you come on, please share this. And Chaz disappeared.
Anything I imagine, we lift them up, we pick them up and let them shine with us. Heard it here before, now you know that I'ma die with it. I'ma die a winner. It's been that kind of winner, $1 million money mission. How many gon' ride with it? Some doubted me, now they wanna be proud of me. They say I do such good work, I tell them burn a calorie. Cause I remember the people that was there at the season. Record players skipping, but everybody believed in what I was doing. They knew that I had the movement, they knew I kept.
Please share this out, guys.
They knew the work that I put in to get where I was at. The fact that the work ain't have a damn thing to do with rap. You gotta check the record, get it straight. Mother wanna teach us a lesson.
Chaz is back.
Sun is coming up, it's shining so bright, and I ain't really worried about a party tonight, because I'm still here, man, I'm still standing, and my life is beyond anything I imagine. We lift them up, we pick them up, and let them shine with us. Heard it here before, now you know that I'ma die with it. I'ma die a winner, it's been that kind of winner, $1 million money mission, how many gon' ride with it? They said I'd never do it, I tell them look at me now, 6 years still here, I see you looking around, where'd he come from, boy, you really popped out. Man, I've been here. Are you ready to talk now? Listen up, you gotta get with the message to get with us. Finish up now. This here is just the beginning, cause 3 albums and a couple hundred shows. Know that I'm an addict. I need a couple hundred more. Never stop, never settle. Pedal to the metal. Hear you talking, I must be the pot and a kettle. Mind of a devil. I'm on another level. I'm just here to reach a lost soul. Give up the medals. Sun is coming up.
And shining so bright.
And I ain't really worried about a party tonight, cause I'm still here. Man, I'm still
Standing.
and my life is beyond anything I imagine. We lift them up, we pick them up and let them shine with us. Heard it here before, now you know that I'ma die with it. I'ma die a winner. It's been that kind of winner, $1 million money mission. How many gon' ride with it? Yo, D-Rock.
What up, B?
Remember my first show down at the 5 Seasons in Baltimore? I was scared to death. And then we gave the promoter the CD. He threw it in, it wasn't even working. And I was up there freaking out, and then Sight grabs the mic and just starts spitting a cappella, man, and the whole crowd went crazy. And though to look at us now, man, performing in front of thousands of people, right? Performing all across the country, being able to keep the message of recovery in our music everywhere we go and make a difference in our community, man.
Who would have thought, y'all? Who would have thought? Yeah. Boom.
That
hey,
did
guys.
sound very familiar.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Survivor Series. It's a special edition of the Survivor Series. The Survivor Series is an original product of No More Heroin, and we showcase inspirational testimonies of people in recovery, those people in recovery that want to come out of the shadows and rep their recovery out loud and proud. And tonight is no different. We have some amazing guests. Now, please, if you're watching this on your phone, turn it sideways so the screen gets, you can see it bigger, because if it's like this, the screens are very small. So turn it sideways so you can get a better view of who all is here. We're gonna play Hollywood Squares tonight. Change up squares, bring the artists in individually. Welcome to Mount Rushmore. This is what I call this episode. And first off, I'd like to introduce from Westminster, Maryland, studio Be Live Productions. B-Rain and REM ONE.
What's up?
Oh God, guys!
Who are they?
You need effects. You need like the burr, 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 burr.
That'd be awesome.
I need to start adding sound effects.
Right. Nah, that's dope. What's up, guys? What's up, fam? Yeah, man. We're just B-Rain, REM ONE. Nothing too heavy. Just here. Just here, living the dream with you guys, with you, Higgy, and Oh, you got
754 Be Real Productions.
Be Real, my man. There you go. Be Real Productions.
Did I screw it up?
He said Be Live.
Yeah, he said Be Live. Look, we got a shoe rack back here, just in case anybody needs some shoes.
Isn't that the sound booth?
No, the sound booth is over there. The vocal booth. The vocal booth.
You got your shoes in a cabinet now?
Yeah, they're hanging up. These are actually A-Live shoes, so we're gonna auction them off at the end of the show.
Nobody's gonna want A-Live shoes.
Okay, we're gonna give them away for free. Every single pair. Whoever is size
10.5.
Price 6.5.
Yeah. Whoever's size 11 and needs shoes, we got you. We got like
Does he have a rack with different panda heads on it too?
Yeah. Look, we got this panda.
Got this panda.
Yep. We got a bunch of pandas on the wall.
1, 2.
Aaron actually has a panda snuggie that he sleeps with, so I can't show you that. It's a little stained up, But
got 13 pandas around the room.
Yeah.
So real quick, tell everybody where you hail from, what your clean sober date is.
Sure. So yeah, I grew up in College Park, right outside of Washington D.C. I got clean out here in Baltimore and ended up moving to Westminster because it's a nicer place than Baltimore, nicer place to live than Baltimore. My clean date is May 5th, 2007. Treatment is a part of my story, and it wasn't the first time or the second time going through treatment to get clean. Jails and institutions, years of that, spending years away incarcerated is a part of my story. But I feel like what I always like to touch on as part of my story is the feelings, the thoughts, the stuff that goes on up here that I was either not willing to or didn't have the people around me to be able to share it with, that I always kept to myself, that I did really anything I could from the point where I realized that I can shut off these thoughts, whether it was with music, whether it was with stealing or fighting, and then using anything that I could do to shut the thoughts off that went on inside of my head. And obviously now being clean, having more tools through the recovery process that I've learned to be able to cope with it. And now being able to utilize music as, kind of catalyst for my recovery and for and carrying a positive message. So
what's your clean date?
Said that May 5th, 2007, you cracked it.
So what's that, 12 years?
Yeah, I just celebrated 12 years clean on May 5th. That's man, it's an honor. My disease will play with me and be like, oh no, you didn't use long enough or hard enough, and then I'll talk to Rem and he'd be like, bro, you was crazy. Like, because I was, but I also, when I got clean, I was 20 years old and I had done enough, more jail time than a lot of people do in their entire lives. I had been, I don't know. It's not about what or how much you use or what the consequences were. It's about, getting clean and how I want to live today. I was done hurting people.
Amen. Right on.
So,
what about you, Mr. Morgan? Frank Morgan, aka REM ONE.
Who's Frank?
Yeah. Oh, Ramon.
I don't know Frank.
Ramon?
Frank with a small S.
No, I mean, I know a lot of our stories are similar, but treatment was definitely in my story. Never successfully. I only went to treatment to run from warrants because the police couldn't touch me there. And prisons and jails. My clean date is 5/29/2014, and I got clean and found what works for me in prison.
You have an anniversary. You have a birthday coming up.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I remember.
Right?
Yeah, man.
5 motherfucking years.
I got 5 on it.
Hey.
I don't know, man. I was talking to someone today. It's crazy that we're doing this because I sent you his number, I think, today, but I didn't know he was busy. So someone called me today and told me that my music saved their life.
How's that make you feel? I seen somebody had a tattoo with a REM that said REM ONE on it.
This is insane, man, because I wish I was, and I'll get there, able to explain it more. Like when B talks to someone, you just spit it, man. You come out and, I don't know, you have a way of explaining things and making it make sense. For me, I feel bad sometimes because the only information I can think of to give someone in that situation is to tell them what worked for me and relate to them and say, like, I don't have the answers, but I know a place that does, and it's crazy, man. I was 18 years of doing hard drugs, heroin and coke, even longer with other stuff. 40 arrests, 20 FTAs, never completed a probation until this last time, man, when I found the rooms in prison and I seen a guy in prison that was walking through the prison, through the gangs and through the drugs and through everything like he's wearing a bulletproof vest, like he had armor on. Not like, not that you're afraid of anything, but you don't have time for it. He wasn't involved with any of it, and he was completely content, and he looked like a man moving with a purpose. And that was, they talk about attraction rather than promotion, and that's what attracted me to talk to this guy. And that prison sentence saved my life, man. I did not know how to pay a bill. I did not know how to keep a promise. I didn't know how to not lie. I couldn't talk for 2 minutes without lying. And it wasn't even like a thought, like tell a lie. It just happened. I just lied all the time. Today I have a beautiful family. The rent's paid.
You do have a beautiful family.
I get to go to work and bitch like a normal person and pay taxes. It really is insane though, man, because I wish I was better at just communicating it to people when they ask. But I just give them, what helped me. And why is that on there? Here, is this a touch screen? Swipe up. Right.
Swipe up.
Yeah, man. So I don't know where I was going with that.
Okay, I'm moving right along. I'm gonna check in with Colicchie. How are you, my brother?
Good. How are you?
You look fantastic. You're
so excited.
You've been working out, dog? You've been working out?
Oh, you know it.
No, he just wears smaller. His T-shirt gets smaller and smaller. That's
where's his daughter's clothing?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, my T-shirt's just tighter.
So where do you hail from, my friend, and what's your clean date?
Oh, I hail from. My name is Chaz Smith, also known as Colicchie. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My clean date is June 7th, 2015. And
got one coming up too, short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is amazing.
Oh yeah. Right.
Yes, it is.
KC.
What's up, baby? You're looking pretty swell yourself.
Not swole, right? Like swell.
Yeah, not
Well,
my girlfriend's getting on me. I said I was going to start going to the gym again, and I went for like 2 weeks, and then I haven't gone in 4 weeks. So I need to work out.
Message my wife.
So, where do you hail from, and what's your clean date?
I currently live in Wallingford, Connecticut, and my clean date is June 19th, 2016.
All of y'all with long-term recovery under your belt.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, he about to be an old timer.
Yeah, man.
And this is once you hit 3?
Yeah, once you hit 3, you're an old timer.
Awesome, dude.
So while I'm focusing on you, Casey, who are your musical influences?
Who are my musical influences?
Yes.
B-Rain, Colicchie, and Rem, I would have to say. Dude, I don't know, man. I grew up on the West Coast. I grew up out in Southern California, so like everything on the radio, that honestly, like all that 90s alternative rock, like I'm super into that. But I would say, you know, as far as like hip hop, I like West Coast stuff, man. Like it was like Biggie or Tupac. It was Tupac for me. You know, I don't know how that's gonna go over. You say that in a group of anybody, but you know, I listen to the Game a lot. You know, obviously, I'm 31 years old, so growing up, like Eminem was like the hip hop. You know, he was like the GOAT.
He's the rap god.
Yeah, but like underground, like atmosphere, like and anything like Rhyme Sayers Entertainment out of Minnesota. Like I really vibed with that growing up, and I really identified with music with message and storytelling and stuff like that. I would have to say.
Awesome. Before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to all the co-hosts. These pages came together and wanted to see this show happen, so they jumped on as co-hosts. First, Glorious Recovery, first and foremost. They you guys have a show coming up this coming Monday in Fairfield, Connecticut. I want to give them a shout out real quick. The Climb for Recovery crew, my brothers and your brothers. ShopRecoveryStuff.com. Aaron Quinlan, Radical Online Radio. Alexis Johnson, The Music is Medicine Foundation. Soberworks.com. Slang and Hope Radio. We got B-Rain, REM ONE, Colicchie, KC Makes Music, and No More Heroin. And, of course, Higgy. That's like 13 co-hosts for the show. What are you guys doing?
Colleggie's walking around his house.
My phone's about to die.
He's got too many rooms in his house. He wasn't coming from that room.
He drained his battery.
Yeah. the third
Ryan,
room.
Tell us what is the We Are Cloud Gang movement?
Right. Did you say Ram or you said me?
You guys are together.
Yeah. So yeah, We Are Cloud Gang is about right. Yeah. So yeah, We Are Cloud Gang is about the movement is about unity, man. Like there is like that is what has allowed my recovery to flourish. And like people supporting me even before the music, like just in my recovery and my network and stuff, and people supporting me and loving me when like I didn't know what being loved was about. I didn't understand why people would care about me without even knowing who I was. And so what We Are Cloud Gang is about is like keeping that pink cloud going, like even after our early sobriety, early recovery, stuff like that. Is like if we stick together and lift each other up, like there's too much hate and BS, and like, you know, we can all find a reason or excuse to put somebody else down, but it's a lot harder to lift somebody up, say, you know what, you can do whatever you want. I don't know, like I saw something today and somebody was telling me about it. It's like, you know, people always told me that I had so much potential. And now that I'm clean and living a life of recovery, I'm able to live out that potential. You know what I mean? With the support of all of you guys. And it's really just a movement. It's not a band. It's not, you know, it's not me and Rem. It's everybody. It's like, it's everybody that's watching this. It's everybody that wants to live their life to make a difference in other people's lives, you know? So that's what it's about. It's just spreading love and unity.
All inclusive.
Correct.
So, Frank, do you have anything to add to that?
I concur.
So,
this is one of the most beautiful blessings of recovery. Is like I had 0 friends. right? I had 0 people that I called on the phone. And if I did call, they didn't answer because they know I wanted to borrow money or a car or something. Like now, like I can call these guys and they answer the phone. You know what I mean? Like I'm over here all the time. Our wives are friends. Our kids hang out. Like
you guys fellowship together. You work together. You know, your families commingle together. Again, all inclusive.
Fired me. I worked for like 2 days. He was like,
listen, he got a blister using a broom. I couldn't hit
it. He told me he was helping you with the carpet. I was like, no way. So, Chaz.
Yo.
So, who were your musical influences to begin with?
Oh, I mean, so many. I actually did a live on this like last month, but kind of like how KC said. I mean, my first like love for music was classic rock, from anywhere from like Led Zeppelin to the Doors to, I mean, all the older stuff. But I mean, when I slowly like moved into rap, I moved into rap kind of late, not until I was like 18. But I would say, I mean, mid 90s New York rap is still what I listen to today. I mean, any one of them. I mean, pick any one of them. But I mean, definitely Nas, Jay-Z, you know, definitely Eminem. You know, I'm not huge on like newer music, but like definitely a fan of like NF and like a couple other select people. I really get like inspiration from everywhere and everything. And obviously not just music, but past experiences and feelings and everything like that. I really just try and grab it from wherever I can. But, you know, music has always been the one thing in my life that has made me, I want to say like almost feel whole. And I don't even really mean writing and recording. I just mean like even listening. You know, music has saved my life in so many different ways, from, you know, writing a song that was personal to listening to from listening to an artist talk about his life. It's just been one thing that I've always had like that unconditional love for, and I'm sure everyone else can definitely agree to that. You know, it's been that thing that has saved me.
Absolutely. Yeah. When did you discover you had a gift for writing and
you know,
turning
the first time I got clean, I was like 22, 23, and I remember I was going to IOP at the time, and when I came home, I don't even know how it started. I just like started writing. It's weird because I kind of can remember that at that time, like this album by Joel Ortiz called The Brick just came out. I think the documentary by Game just came out, and I was listening to Music Choice. So this was before like even like streaming stuff. Music Choice was a channel on cable or whatever, and I just like would like listen to rap, and I just started writing. And at first my rhymes were like weak, and they were about like guns and stuff I had like never even experienced. But then I slowly just started writing more about, you know, my life and my feelings, and, you know, and just, you know, addiction and drug use and recovery, and you know, and then it transformed me basically into the artist that I am today.
which is phenomenal. You're one of the powerhouse. I was trying to, you know, come up with a genre, a new all-inclusive genre, and Travis Gilbert said, well, we should just call it motivational hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I try and write positive. Sometimes I write negative, but, you know, for the most part, I would like to say that I write kind of positive.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You've impacted a lot of lives, and while we're talking, I want to thank you for your love and support. When I did relapse, you reached out to me and shared your experience with me a couple different times on the topic of relapse. Mm-hmm. But I do appreciate that, and your genuineness and honesty and your friendship. So thank you for that. Thank you for
I appreciate you.
For being a good role model. And KC Conklin, my dude.
What's up, brother?
How are you, man? So when did you discover that you had musical ability in writing? Dude, you have a phenomenal voice. You really do.
Yes, he does.
When you do a cappella, and then with your rap, the words, the lyrics. It's heartfelt,
Dude,
and
I'm
you
just
have
getting
a
good.
good soulful sound.
I'm getting good at auto tune. You know.
Hey, I think we can expect an acapella from Colicchie coming sometime soon too, right?
I'm looking forward to that, dude. Absolutely. I want to hear that.
So when did you discover that you had a love for music?
I mean, a love for music always, man. Like, my family, I have a big family here on the East Coast, right here in Connecticut. Like, my dad's the oldest of 7, and like growing up, every time I would come back and visit my dad's side of the family. Anytime we had a family gathering and we would go to Rhode Island for like a week every summer, he would pull out the guitar and like it's like some weird stuff that you would see like on TV, but like my whole family, just my dad's playing the guitar and everyone's like singing all these songs, you know. And like it's always been, my dad's been gigging in bands since he was like 16 years old, so like music's always been in my roots. And like I was afraid, like I didn't start even like singing in music until pretty recently. So like I was actually talking to Rem about this the other day. Like one of my raps I posted on, you know, when I was rapping in the bedroom. It was like, mad honest, I don't even want to rip like this, but this the best it gets when I don't sing or play no instruments. Like, because like I love music, you know, and like I was always so fearful to like really like try to sing and like put my voice out there. But like I really, you know, I really liked music and everything about it. So I started like writing. I remember I was like 17 out in California with my friends, and we made a mixtape, and it was cool. Like everyone's like, dude, you're really good at this, you know. And it was like me and my buddy had some software, and we made some songs, and it never really took off. Instead, like the drug use and like alcohol use really escalated in my life instead, and that kind of went to the back burner. And I would always go back to it and revisit it every couple of years, and start writing, but I never followed through with like recording or actually formatting songs and making music until I got sober. And once I did, man, I had like notebooks full of pages, and plus I had a lot of new shit to get off my chest and a lot of new stuff to write about and talk about, you know. So I started making a couple songs, and I remember I posted one, like it was like a freestyle in a parking garage, or it wasn't even freestyle, it was a song that I wrote. And it got like 1,700 views on Facebook. And I was like, this is it, dude. Like, I'm big leagues now. Like, this is it. You know, I made it, you know, but I made it. It was just enough motivation for me to keep posting videos and keep pushing and keep creating new content. And then once I linked up with Jordon Meyer, who's an awesome
Phenomenal
musician, singer, producer, you know, it really, things just started escalating and taking off, man. And he's taught me so much about the music world and you know, the song structure and how he approaches music and songs. And although we're like two different genres of music, you know, like I've learned so much from him, and it's, you know, it's just a blessing. You know, the people that have come into my life, you know, I feel like it's just one gift after the other, you know. As long as I continue to grow and do the right thing, you know, these people.
You guys are a powerhouse together. You really are.
He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal.
B Rain.
Yes,
are you
sir.
awake over there?
Yeah.
You know, I want to take the time to thank each and every one of you for jumping on here. You know, this is going to be a busy live. I have never had 4 headlining acts on my Survivor Series platform at one time. So this is like groundbreaking for me, and it's
Oh yeah.
You've made it.
I'm grateful. I made it. If I get 1,700 views on this, I'm there.
Yeah, you get fired.
So
Real quick though, I want to touch on before I forget. I think I don't even know. It was one of these guys, one of these cool guys. Casey or Colicchie said it, but so the music for me, right? When I was going through that in prison, if I wasn't in my literature and trying to learn about myself, I was blocking the world around me out with music. So I got $32 a month for state pay in prison. Every cent of it went to batteries, and I even slept with my headphones on. just to block everything out. But it was then that I started writing again. And when I used to go up to that building where the guys that was doing what I was trying to do would gather, we had free time afterwards, and somebody would, play a beat on the table and I would rap. And he said, man, you're pretty good, but why don't you try writing something about your new way of life? The way you live, right? Your reality now. And that's the first song that I ever released. I mean, it wasn't even a song. It was me in a car. It wasn't my car because I didn't have a car yet, but it was just me in my stepmother's car with a beat on my phone, and I put it online, and it got a pretty good response. I look back at it now. I hate that freaking song.
Wait, did it get more than 1,700 views?
Yes.
I love that song.
You.
I really made it.
Really made
Dude,
it.
I had like 1,800.
Back when I first started doing these videos and interviewing people and trying to get people involved online, I had an Express Yourself video challenge, and that was Frank's submission for the Express Yourself video challenge.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Lost Souls, and it broke down the steps. I thought it was great.
I mean, it was great for me at the time. It did for me what it was supposed to do. It gave me
Los is in the comments.
Los, what up?
What up,
Me and
Los?
Los were just hanging out today. So I'm gonna cut Rem off because
That's why I wasn't. He never answers my calls when he's with Los.
nah. So my oldest daughter, she got married today. So I was at the wedding. It's my wife's daughter. But like she's been in my life, I've been in her life for the past 12 years, and to watch her like grow up and grow through the struggles of being like a teenage girl and stuff like that, and boyfriends and friends and this, that, and the third, and to be able to be in a team like with my wife where we're both in recovery and using the principles and stuff to guide her through it. She's been able to grow through it. She just finished. She's got like one semester left in college. And this guy that she's been friends with for probably 6 or 7 years asked her to marry him probably like 6-8 months ago, something like that. He's an amazing guy. He serves our country in the military. And,
Oh God.
so I got to be a part of that process. And it's cool to say like, yes, I have 12 years clean and that's all well and good. But like, these are experiences that we can have with any amount of time clean, as long as we're focusing on doing the right thing for the right reason. Because I could have came in, I have experience with like step parents, and my mom had a significant amount of significant others through my life, and I resented every single one of them because every single one of them tried to replace my dad. And I never like overstepped those boundaries with her. And Matt, yeah, needs a monster too. Unreal. But so that's where I was at all day, and to be able to spend that time with her, watch her cry in happiness, and know that like, because her and I had a uncomfortable conversation. I was like, I don't want her to feel obligated to have me walk her down the aisle, or me and her dad walk her down the aisle. If she wants to just have him walk her down, that's fine. And like, it's just a great feeling to know that like I've made enough of an impact on her that she wants me to be a part of that. She wants me to be there, standing with her, getting married. I don't know.
Absolutely. That's one of those priceless moments that you get to participate in. Everybody say hi to Michael Moulton. M2 The Rock Radio is in the comments.
M2. Wait. M2.
Hold up. Did
Get
you
him. Get him, Rem. Get him.
Did you get a new phone number? M2.
He get a new phone
did.
number.
Don't comment once and get out.
Yeah, comment and bop. Was it Cobb and Bop? Comment and bop.
Yeah, kid.
He must have got a new phone number.
Yeah, kid.
KC, who's Ya Kid? Give him a shout out.
Ya Kid is it's my buddy's brand out in Boston, and they're a clothing brand, and they're doing we've got a couple brand collabs with Casey Makes Music and Ya Kid, and they're they're doing really cool stuff for kids in the community and promoting positivity in the youth. We just tie-dyed shirts at the Boys and Girls Club in Boston.
That looked like a really good time,
week.
man.
And they're doing a lot of great stuff.
Young and happy, kicking it daily.
Young and happy, kicking it daily. Yeah, I love the acronym, dude. It's like I was sold as soon as I saw that. I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So Chaz,
Yo,
share some
All
of
right,
the
Iggy.
share some of the Sorry, I'm trying to keep everybody active, not falling asleep.
yeah, I'm straight.
Tell me about some of the blessings in your life today.
So yeah, I mean that's what they do. I think I'm big on the screen right now. They can't see you guys. I can see you guys, but just me.
The blessings in my life. I mean, obviously they're infinite, but my life today is incredible for the sheer fact that so I work in treatment or whatever, so I get to wake up and attempt to help people all day, but alongside that I have time to spend with my daughter. I have time to do music. I have a studio in my house now, so that's where I've been recorded. I just got my first song back that I fully recorded the entire thing here, and I'll probably release that Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. Kind of Casey was talking, it's like one of the first songs I actually sang on, and it's also myself stepping out of my comfort zone. I just want to expand musically as much as I possibly can, but life today, how it was compared to obviously in the past, is just so much different, and I'm grateful for every single day, and I really do mean that. I really am grateful because I just lived such a torturous existence for so long, but now it's, I'm really living a life that I never even thought was possible, from constantly traveling to, doing shows, making music, have good friends, I mean, like I said, it's endless. I have a family, I have good people in my lives, people that, support me, people that, help me out. And, I just want to continue on this journey to just really see where it takes me. I used to be so fearful of the future, but I can genuinely say that I'm actually excited. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I'm excited what the actual next year holds, for all of us. And it's only going to happen if I continue to do what I've been doing and put the work in. I'm not gonna if I continue to not work on myself and not do the things that I've been doing, then I'm going to get nowhere.
Absolutely. So are you going to be in Connecticut?
Yes, I most certainly am.
Yo! Hey.
What?
And I just want to say, hold up.
Hold up.
He was stepping out of his comfort zone, right? I haven't talked to you except through text since I heard it. And I'm not going to talk about it too much. But the thing that we're all working on, bro, as soon as I heard it, I was so proud of you. I could tell you stepped out of your comfort zone on that one. Definitely, bro.
Thank you. Yeah.
Killed it.
So, Casey, I'm going to bring you up because you say you can't see us. We can see you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Casey? There.
Is Higgy talking to me? Because I can't see him or hear him right now.
Yeah. Talking to you, bro.
Okay,
I just texted him. I'm like, dude, I can't see or hear. I hear your guys' responses. I can see B-Rain and Rem and Colicchie, but I cannot see or hear Higgy.
Yeah, don't worry. Keep rolling the flow.
You guys are just translate.
Look, okay. Moving right along.
No, Alexa, lights off.
All I got's the clapper. Okay, listen. So
no, really, if he's saying something tell me because I can't.
Okay, I'll say
it. I'm dead serious right now.
Tell him to back out and come back in.
He said that you're beautiful, and he wants he said back out and come back. Whoa.
All right. I'll be right back.
So let's talk about the importance of collaborations and unities. I named this episode. I'm bringing KC back. Hold on. I want everybody to understand why Are you there, Casey?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I can see you and I can hear you now. That was really awkward, but we're good.
Me. Okay, listen. I named this episode Mount Rushmore for the simple fact that when you look at Mount Rushmore, it's four of the most influential political figures our country has ever known. They changed the landscape of the government, our country, how things were run. And I view you guys are you as the powers that be in this recovery music community. You guys are going to change the landscape of music with your positive message, the inspiration that comes with it, the fellowship that comes at the events. This is truly a movement, and it's going to be all inclusive for anyone of any age to come out and find out what recovery is about. Find out what we do in recovery to have fun, clean, and sober. So that's why I named this episode Mount Rushmore. And you guys are the powers that be. You guys are leading the way for other artists that are recovering to follow. So I want to give you guys props for that.
All right. Well, we can't forget Joe Nestor, man.
Absolutely.
I was talking to him earlier today. We definitely have a lot of stuff coming up with Joe too. He's grinding, man. I tell him all the time, I'm so proud of him for just holding on through everything he went through. And
yes, sir.
He really struggled with that for a while, but he's
Matty Ice in the comments.
He's cranking songs out.
You guys, all of you are doing such good works for the community and making quality music with a message. What's your message, B Rain? What are you striving for with your music?
I just want to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
All right.
You want to keep buying tennis shoes and Nike hats? You want
my Nike SB stock,
dude. When that Nike sponsorship comes through,
no, I mean my message is that through staying clean, anything is possible. You know, like I didn't start making music until I had like 5 years clean. Because my thinking was in such shambles. You know, my life was in shambles. I got out of prison. I got out of rehab. I literally had a trash bag full of like my entire life. Probably the 3 years prior to that, my life fit inside of a trash bag. And so when I got out, that's all that I had. And, you know, one small stepping stone at a time. Like I got a job that paid $7 an hour because I just wanted a job. I was 20 years old with 2 felonies and like, you know, a drug addict that I didn't have any experience at anything except for sticking people up and boosting. And so like I got a job and, you know, I lived in a pretty much a sober house or somebody's house that was in recovery that just let us rent a room from him. And, you know, and then like we moved in, we split an apartment. Like, you know, there's these, through staying clean, anything is possible. And it's not just about music. It's not just about like getting a million views on a music video. It's not about any of that. It's like, you know, some people have dreams to start their own landscape business. Some people have dreams just to be able to buy a nice car, or some people have dreams to be able to create a family and build a family and stuff like that, and treat their family the way that they weren't treated before. And like those are things like when I got clean, like they were beyond my wildest dreams. Like having a house that's mine is beyond my wildest dreams. Even honestly renting a house. Like I thought like I was closed into this box where like I would have to rent a room from somebody forever because I can't sign my name on a lease for an apartment. No, I'm not going to pass a background check for to rent anywhere. So like I'm just going to have to live with somebody else for my whole life. And like that's what my goal is to show like the progression. Like my first music video, I shot it on my cell phone that I had my buddy like standing there pointing it at me pretty much. And because I just wanted to put the music out there. Like I knew like in my area, like I had a buzz and stuff like that. And so I wanted to put myself out there and be able to show like from the beginning, this is what it looks like. And over, 2.5, 3 years, this is what it's grown to. How much further can it grow? And it's the same thing. Like there's no overnight success. There's no overnight clean time. Like nobody in here got the amount of clean time that they have right now today, or yesterday. Like it took years to get here. It took years to get the amount of time that we have. Like nothing comes overnight. So as long as we put the work in, whatever it is, day in and day out, like anything is possible.
So B, if you were gonna say that in one sentence.
Stay
clean, chase dreams. That's right. I apologize, Casey, for cutting you off earlier.
You didn't.
My bad.
I don't think you cut me up. You didn't cut me up.
It was me. It was me.
Yeah.
You cut me off 3 times, and I'm getting sick. No, I'm just playing.
Okay, Rem, you have the floor. Let him know.
Who me?
You.
What do I do? What do I say? What do I do with my hands? No, like he was saying, funny, you said you didn't think you'd be able to rent a house, right? Like, so when I came home from prison, I was working, I was doing what I was supposed to do. It came time, I saved a little bit of money, and I tried to get a place for me and my family. I was offering a year's rent, a year worth of rent up front and a co-signer, and got turned down 17 times. And really, like, who turns you down? I'm offering the entire year here, and I got turned down 17 times. And that's 17 applications. For me and my wife, $40 each. So that's $80 17 times. I don't know how I didn't. Well, I know how, but looking back, it would have been very easy to give up. And I didn't. I was getting very frustrated. But I run my own flooring business, and someone I subcontracted work from knew me back when I was getting high, and they see me on a daily basis now. And he asked me how the house hunt was going. I told him. He called a friend of his and completely vouched for me and said his record's horrible. He's not going to pass any kind of check, but if you rent to him and he messes up, I will pay the bill. He vouched for me that much. And this was someone I just, said hello to in passing, but they seen it. So it was like I didn't give up, and I held on, and then something amazing happened. And I don't know, that right there, like being so close to frustration and so close to giving up, and then seeing that come through, I think about that all the time whenever I struggle with anything. Like, just hold on, and it's going to work out.
Yeah, there's no shortcut or cheat code to life or recovery for that matter. Like it's patience and perseverance and honesty. Like, like Rem was saying, there's 1,500 excuses that we all come through on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that it would be justified to use or justified to lie or steal or cut corners or hurt somebody. But like, that's where the growth comes in, is when we find patience and when we persevere through the adversity, and like allow people to help us.
Hey, Jordon Meyer is in the audience.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Shout out to Jordon Meyer. He's here. What's good, brother?
I wish you were with KC right now.
Yeah.
That'd be six amazing artists. Shay Dunn. Hi, Shay. How are you? I love you.
Hey, real quick, Higgy.
Geez.
Shout out, before I forget, shout out Fat Pat's thing, man. It's a great cause.
Yeah.
Okay, June the 1st in Delta, Pennsylvania. Kinsey Rocks. We're gonna. It's a fundraising event. B-Rain, REM ONE they're gonna be there performing. I will be emceeing the event. We're gonna get together. It's gonna be a motorcycle ride as well. What are you saying?
Nothing. We're saying how great you're doing.
well,
It's a beautiful cause.
Yeah.
Beautiful, talented, life-filled, strong little girl. She has leukemia, and the strength that she has shown through all this is just amazing. And I feel honored that someone would ask me to do something like that, to be able to go out there and just show her, bring people out and show this little girl. How old is she? Like 11?
Fat Pat.
11 or 12.
I think she's 11 or 12. She's very strong. Pat said she's in remission right now, but she has to continue treatments for the next 2 years to keep the leukemia in remission. So we definitely want to come and just encourage and love on this little girl and just make her feel special, because that's going to go a long ways in filling her spirit. You know what I mean?
I need to make Fat Pat feel special too, man. He's had a bad hand dealt, man. He's had tragedy after tragedy.
He's one strong man. If you guys would, please throw up a hashtag Kinsey Rocks. Show some support for Fat Pat. If you guys are in the area, June the 1st in Delta, Pennsylvania, which isn't very far from the Baltimore area, come on over and show support. Hang out with us, fellowship, enjoy some good food, some good music, and just come show support for this beautiful little girl, man. She needs it. Chaz, I want to go back to this line of questioning. Where are you at?
I'm right here.
What is the message in your music that you're trying to convey?
I mean, honestly, B Rain really hit the nail on the head. I mean, in so many words, it really is just about like never giving up and change is possible. Like I said prior, I never imagined that I would have the life that I have today. It was possible for you, but it would never be possible for me. Even witnessing with my own eyes, the changes and the miracles happening, with so many other people, that I would see at meetings and stuff like that. I still had like that inner self-doubt. I still had like that, like say that lack of confidence, that low self-worth. But really through, just persevering through like any adversity that came down, the path, it was like blessings just like started to happen and just feeling very fortunate. And like I said, like I really am just grateful to be where I'm at. And in my life, so I try to express that through my music in any way that I can. I try to talk to the people that are broken, the ones with shattered emotions, the ones that are tired of feeling pain, the ones that have lived in agony, the ones that have lived, like I said before, just that torturous path. And I don't know, like I just always wrote about my own experience. And I coming from the bottom, as far as like mentally and physically and spiritually, and just being so spiritually bankrupt for so many years, but now being filled. I just want to be able to let people know that, that freedom exists, because I wasn't comfortable in my own skin for a very, very long time, and now that I am, I just want to be able to tell the world that it is possible for them as well.
Absolutely. What is your favorite song to perform?
I mean, I would probably say Drug Addiction, even though it's real long. But I would definitely say that, because that's definitely what I'm most known for.
Absolutely. It is so on point for a lot of us.
Thank you.
And it is a very, very well known, well received the world over. People people know you from that, because it's so relatable.
Thank you,
Mr. Conklin. What is the message in your music?
I mean, these guys said it all, man. I concur.
I got to tell you, you fit in well with this group. You are Cloud Gang too.
These guys are awesome, man.
Colicchie is Cloud Gang.
I would honestly, man, the message in my music, like when I write songs, you know, I just try to keep it about my experience, you know, and yeah, like you said earlier, like you know, positive or motivational music or something like that. Yeah, like a lot of my music does, you know, have a motivational message, but you know, I'm also writing my experience down. You know, some of my some of my music is you know at based on darker points in my life, you know, and I think that making something relatable that people have been through and that people can understand, you know, when it comes to the message with my music is super important. You know, I just try to keep it real. I would say, you know, one thing that I always try to grab hold of and portray would be the fact that like if somebody like me that had no relationship with their family, that was, you know, withered away, you know, hanging on to life by thread, 120 pounds, you know, trying to get clean over and over again, couldn't do it, you know, didn't really have anyone left in my life, living out of the, you know, my beat up Ford Mustang in South Florida. If I can come back and really like pursue my dreams and like and chase everything, like it's all about actions on a daily basis and growing, you know. And if you're taking actions, constructive, selfless actions on a daily basis towards whatever your goals are, that they're easily achievable, you know, and not necessarily always easily, but they're achievable, you know. Sometimes it takes a lot of work. But I don't know, man. I'm just doing stuff I would have never expected, and you know, like I said earlier, thank God for the people in my life. And again, if Jordon Meyer, if you're still here, dude, shout out to you. You know, I'm doing so much with that, dude. We're going out to LaGrange, Kentucky, for Float for Recovery on June 22nd, and we're starting a music program for the youth in the city here, Meriden, Connecticut, and doing like a start to finish music workshop with the kids. And you know,
That's amazing.
It's a huge influence on me, and you know, everyone that's been in my life and helped, my whole team, man. Brian with and Yakid, like everybody, man. I'm just super grateful, man. But I guess the message is that, you know, anything's achievable. It just takes some work.
Absolutely. The song "Sober" is doing very, very, very well. It's being well received as well. Where did the concept for that and when you know I asked you this question during your Survivor series, is there a difference between being clean and sober? You know, the song is about heroin addiction, and it has, you know, the father struggling with alcoholism.
Yeah,
but
I think addiction is addiction, man. You know, whether it's alcoholic addiction or drug addiction, you know, I think the disease of addiction is the same, and it manifests the same way. You know, I think when you're gone and your life is over, what will they say? When you're gone because you won't get clean. It didn't rhyme, Higgy.
Exactly. Not even with a New England accent.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, how that song came about, man. You know, Jordon had a little like a chord progression come together, and you know, it was like that dun, dun, the beginning of the song, and he had some melodies, and he was like, when you're gone and your life, and you know, he just has a phenomenal voice. And, you know, and we sat in the studio, and it was such a process and like such a rewarding experience to be able to build that song from the ground up with him and watch him produce it, and you know, and give input, and you know, write my lyrics, and he wrote his, and it, you know, over the course of a couple months, this beautiful thing came together, and like, you know, we're like, we can't do it justice without doing a video, so we started drafting up ideas for a storyline, you know, and you know, I tried to keep it true to my story, and also it's got a lot of Jordon's story in there too, and I think, you know, anybody who's faced addiction can relate to the storyline in the video.
Absolutely. Jordon says, didn't rhyme, haha. No, it didn't. I'll never forget that day in the studio.
Yes.
You guys have done a fantastic job.
Thank
you. Frank, Rain, what are you doing? You guys are over sleeping, aren't you?
Hey, what are you doing, dude?
What?
You guys over
I'm-
sleeping?
He's just sitting there judging me.
I know
So
that like,
thankful.
KC on the screen, so I'm just like staring into Colicchie's eyes.
So we've talked about, you know, we've hinted at some future collaborations. How important are these collaborations in showing unity in the community?
I mean, I feel like collaboration in anything is important. Like, no one man has been able to change the world by himself. It always takes collaboration with other supporting casts that may not be, you know, in the forefront of the spotlight or whatever, but there's always a supporting cast. And like you were saying, the unity and us being able to come together, you know, because, you know, I feel like, you know, Colicchie and KC and Ren, we all said the same thing as far as the message and the reasoning behind what we do and why we create music. You know, to be able to show the unity in that, and hopefully that trickles down to, you know, our followers and the people that listen to our music, that they can do that in their lives. You know, it may not be on like a scale that we're doing it, but like, it's not important the scale. What's important is the action of having that unity, because unity at a small scale, just between people in their own communities, you know, trickles down and it has that effect on other people. And so hopefully, you know, like I said, with the collaborations, I mean, obviously Rem and I have done a few songs, and some new music, and being able to be a part of this process with Chaz and with KC and stuff like that. I mean, I feel like it's hugely important, because it shows that, I got a brain fart. That's what it shows.
Iron sharpens iron.
Correct.
I believe, and all of you together are going to help each other grow. You're going to lift each other up. You're going to grow together.
That's what I love about these guys is it's rare to find people that are doing the things that all these guys are doing, that are willing to show you, willing to help another person grow who's trying to do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And I was gonna say something, like, it takes, I feel like, for me, my bad, bro. I had a good idea. I wanted to say it. I feel like, like, it took me putting in the work because I reached out to Chaz a couple years ago, and we talked about some stuff, and it never came to fruition either, because I feel like it's because I hadn't put in enough work at the time, or he was overwhelmed with drug addiction kind of going to the levels that it did. But I knew, like, the way to hopefully have, you know, Colicchie notice or other people notice what I'm doing is to continue to put in the work. And so now 2 years later, you know, I've put in a lot of work, and we've been able to come together on a handful of things. And so, like, you know, I've you know, I follow a lot of people that talk about the music industry, that talk about, you know, different things, and it's all about action. It's all about work. Like, yes, you know, one or two songs is good, or one or two, you know, if you're looking to open a business, an idea is good, but the idea doesn't mean anything until you put it into action, and not just action one time. Hey, I did this. Now everybody, you know, do this for me. It's putting in consistent action over time, over months, over years, to show that, like, not only, like, you got to believe in yourself first, and, like, taking action one time isn't really believing in yourself. It's just taking a chance. It's continuing to grind when it doesn't seem like anything's going to work out, when it doesn't seem like things are going to be glorious and magnificent. It's doing something that you love and what you're passionate about, and continuing in the action, man. So I feel like, for me, like, I'm grateful, you know, I get to look back and see my process and know that, hey, I put in a lot of work to be able to, you know, have the relationship that I have with Chaz and with KC and with you, you know, improving myself over time, over the years. And I feel like the same thing with Colicchie. You know, he's been putting out music for 8, 9, 10 years, so and the catalog speaks for itself.
How long, Colicchie? Is it like 12 years?
Yeah, pretty much. I had like one interval of like a year where I was using pretty bad on a relapse and I didn't really do much. But yeah, about 12 years, a little over 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
And I don't know about you guys, but I know for me, you have definitely helped me with and taught me that music 100% is the ability to work on something and dedicate so much time and effort into it, knowing that it's not going to pay off today.
Mm-hmm.
I've never in my life been able to do that.
Right. It's all about instant gratification.
Right.
But yeah, that's
well, what I notice in seeing you guys all together interacting, I may not be moderating this the best that I could because there's a lot going on, but I see a lot of humility, and willing to share time, share space, share knowledge, and that is so significant, and it's very representative of what recovery looks like. The way it should look like.
Yeah.
So I want to give you guys props for that.
Well, thank you.
You guys are all amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Look at this tatted up rapper. Hold up.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Let's see that tattoo. I'm gonna put you on the screen solo, Chaz.
Oh, stop it.
Flex, bro. Flex. Flex. Let's see
It's
it.
just the first part. You can't really see it. It's the
Yeah.
first part to my.
Take your shirt off. Take your shirt off. Yes. No, but that's another cool thing is like we have these relationships. Like I talked to Casey for like 2 hours yesterday. I feel like, we talk about, actions. He's taught me some things. I've taught him some things. Because we all have different experiences to share with each other, but like through that, I've talked to Colicchie, we got to spend a whole weekend together, a few months ago and talked a lot, recently, and obviously, with Rem and Higgy, I've known you guys for a while now, and we build relationships. Like it's not just an overnight thing. They're like, all right, we're best friends forever. Like, it takes time and effort and energy from both parties to create a relationship. And I feel like, at least for me, with all of you guys, like I feel like I have a very close relationship, and I'm grateful for that. Because it lets me know that regardless, like, if I call, my core network that I have, here in my hometown, and like nobody's available or something like that, I still have more people that I can call, and more people that I can talk to with different experiences, or if I have an experience in music, I'm going to call, one of you guys. It's just, I'm grateful for the relationships that I have with all you guys.
Absolutely. I concur.
Alexandra just said we need a Cloud Gang calendar, and I'm going to go ahead and agree with her on that.
Yes. Yeah.
We've been talking about that.
About that. It's like, so the count, the firefighter count.
Yes, that's what I had in mind too.
Like everybody just had, what is this called?
Suspenders.
The suspenders. Yeah. Just suspenders and some shorts.
Don't worry, they have apps now.
They give us muscles.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Muscle apps. Right, a billionaire.
No, man, I want to say too, I'm so grateful for this group of guys and so many others that I would have never met without music. You're one of them.
Happened?
What?
Am I the only one that can't hear him?
I can hear him.
There you go.
I could hear him.
Can you hear us?
That's because we're friends. Higgy, what's going on?
off.
Yeah.
What's up?
But
Hey, thanks, Higgy. I'll stop talking.
Yo, Higgy.
Shut off.
We always have-
Look, thanks. I don't even know what I was talking about.
You're talking about friends.
Friends.
We are the 3 best friends that anybody has.
I go to FRIENDS.
No, seriously though, I'm very cautious with. I will talk to anyone, anyone, but I'm cautious about the people that I open up to, just because unfortunately I've been burnt so many times. So I've kind of conditioned myself now to, if we are meant to work together, then it will happen in its own time. You know, I don't know. I'm very
none of this is forced.
Put a lot of energy into, at least until I meet you in person. Like, let's meet in person, and I want to feel the energy and the vibe.
Yeah, me and Rem did, I mean, what, 5 or 6, 7 shows together. You know, we knew each other for probably a year before, you know, we ever did a song together and stuff like that. You know, and not because it wasn't like we weren't close, because we did. We built a relationship over that time. And
yeah, but there was 7 shows before we started actually hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just takes time. Patience, and my big thing has always been patience and perseverance for my recovery, for life, for music, for relationships, friendships, jobs. You know what I mean? Patience and all right, cool. See you later, Colicchie. Bye. Good to see you again. You know, patience and perseverance have been the defining factors for me, at least. You know. Hey, Higgy, you never asked me about my musical influences, bro.
Me neither. You never asked me, bro.
What? Okay,
cool.
Go for it. Who are your musical influences?
You have to have 15,000 followers or more to get that question.
Okay. Casey.
Okay, Casey, screw these guys. So, Casey, please.
Wait. Please ask these men what their musical influence is.
Go ahead, ask me. I don't want to tell you. You don't want to know.
Please, gentlemen, play nice. Who are your musical influences?
I'm talking to you, bro. I think everybody kind of touched on it. I'm going to cut you off since you asked about it. Cool. Everybody kind of touched on it. For me, it's hard to narrow it down to a handful of things, because I take inspiration from all genres of music. Whether or not I can pull it off in my own is irrelevant. I get inspired from anything. From, like Colicchie was saying it, I think Casey said it too. Huge for me coming up was Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, The Doors, you know, Jimi Hendrix, stuff like that. I went through a big country phase. I even had the straw rolled up cowboy hat and a beer in my hand. I was
Grit McGee.
Yeah, no, that was Frank. Right? But I don't know. I can listen to almost any style of music at any given time and be content and find some kind of inspiration in it. Most of the time, it's just me wishing I could play an instrument, but you know.
The Remedy of Funk with the Rage beat was on point.
Thanks. Nobody else thought so.
Yeah.
No, man, it was definitely a fun song to do. I seen someone make a comment. Unbelievable. I seen somebody make a comment asking what beat they should do, and I commented that beat to them, and they were like, "No way, bro, that's lame." And I was like, "Okay, I'll show you," and I did it, but I don't think I showed them. I think it came out pretty lame.
Nah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
I don't know. It's late, and I worked all day, and sometimes I try to make jokes that aren't funny, but
I get you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
So I wanted to ask you.
What are you doing?
He's getting his tool together.
Casey and Colicchie, what was it like performing together in Atlantic City?
Dope.
Yeah, it was incredible. Yeah, the crowd was amazing. I mean, the crowd was so hype before we even went on. I've been to a lot of conventions, but like that sort of style convention I'd never been to, and it definitely was memorable. That actual convention that happened is actually going to be like a mile from where I am right now next year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. That's what's
Is
up.
that where you guys met?
For the first, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, dude, I felt like a rock star.
You are a rock star, bro.
You are a rock star, brother.
I'm gonna tell you, dude, I don't know if I'm gonna experience anything like that for a long time. It was crazy, man. And it was the first like bigger performance that I've ever done, and it was surreal because I was so full of fear until like my feet hit the stage, and then it was just like autopilot. But it was incredible, man. And seeing Colicchie do his thing was so unbelievable. I love it.
Yeah, it was great. We when Casey walked out and did Powerless, and honestly, the crowd went crazy, and it's just any fear that I had, it like alleviated because it was just like it really was like I hate to like sound lame, but it really was like magical. So I mean,
Hell yeah,
that's what's up.
oh yeah.
Nah, you were telling me. I talked to you last week or something.
You're pointing at him like they know.
I talked to you.
They know.
Yeah, see, he knew it.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. He knows I'm talking to him because nobody else answers my calls. But no, he was telling me, he's like, bro, he's like I've heard drug addiction, but holy shit, he did that. He did it live. It was like 7-8 minutes long. He was impressed with that.
No, dude, I was very impressed, dude. I was fucking. Oh, am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you're
Oh, I
good.
did.
Unreal.
I don't have a dump button on here.
He just kicks me off the line. Nobody ever.
Bye bye.
No, that was really awesome, dude. That was really because I've seen the Facebook video and like watching him go the distance like that is unbelievable, and also like keeping the audience engaged the whole time. You know what I mean? Like it was just freaking. It was really cool. It was a really cool experience.
Thank you.
Absolutely, dude.
You all have honed your craft, and you guys are all about quality, instead of quantity. You're not putting out new videos every week, different songs or just random videos. You guys are doing real quality work with quality video content. And Los was on here earlier, Avail Visuals. He was your first videographer, and now you got Shorte, Headbangers. What is it? Headbangers.
Yeah.
You guys have quality camera production. You have you B-Rain. You are the general of this whole thing. You have a knack for bringing people together. You have a knack for lifting people up, making people feel a part of, which you did for me when we first met, because when we first started conversing, I was offered a radio show and we had just started talking on Facebook, and I turned down the offer because I was scared, and you helped me walk through that fear and give it a shot. And to be honest, I can pinpoint that time in my life that has led me to this moment here with you guys, the walking through fear, doing radio, doing videos, talking to people. It's something that I truly, truly enjoy. So I want to thank you for, living your recovery, living by spiritual principles and making me feel a part of the Cloud Gang right off the bat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So let me see, how much time is it? I think we're coming up. We're about an hour and a half deep into this. You guys want to share some personal information with the audience? Like,
I was gonna say, remember the first time we met?
How personal?
Something somebody wouldn't know otherwise. Like, do you have any like weird habits, idiosyncrasies? Like, do you have superstitions?
I can't write uppercase T's.
You just told that.
Yeah.
He just stole B-Rain. What's your
I'm sorry, man.
There we go. That's all. I just wanted to get Colicchie to laugh because he's over there looking like a Mount Rushmore. He's just stone cold.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. Look, he got his tan today. He just wants to. He's really just looking at his own face.
I don't notice none of y'all. I'm just.
Damn, this is good.
Looking good. So, share something intimate and personal with the audience that they wouldn't know otherwise.
I like to drive always. I always drive wherever I go, wherever we go.
I drive.
I drive wherever we go. Like we go with the team. If I'm, me and the wife are going to pick Abby up. When me and Colicchie were hanging out, we actually picked up somebody from a halfway house to get them. Or from treatment to get him to a sober living house. Like I'm the one that drives because and I learned it through my process in recovery, these things called steps and stuff like that like I like to drive because it's this sense of control, of something and like at an early age, like I used to I'd steal cars and stuff like that. And I love to drive fast and reckless because I felt like the rest of my life was out of control. But when I'm driving, I'm in control. I'm in control of something. I also do not write capital Fs.
Capital F.
And it's not even like a preference. It's like an OCD. Like it feels, I have a lot of like OCDs and I'm down here and you can't really see. I have this like thing for what is this? A keyboard that like if I touch it with one finger, I have to touch it with all my fingers so it feels right. Got a lot of little like OCD shit.
Jordon Meyer wants to know what your favorite position is.
Being humble.
My man, prayer. Position is prayer.
On your knees.
Praying.
On my knees, praying.
Frank, enlighten us with something intimate and personal about yourself, Rem.
Whoa. Okay, so I prefer boxer briefs, but no, I'm just
Fruit of the looms? No more tidy whities?
What? Why are you talking about where you weirdo? Nah, I don't know what we're supposed to. What are you asking me? Everybody's talking about their handwriting. I can't write any letter.
No, Casey just wanted to be like me.
Well, I want to be like both of you. You guys got more viewers than me. Relax. Look. I can't write any letter the same. So if I write, none of my letters match.
I wish I had a piece of paper that had handwriting because it is trash.
Bro, and
it is trash.
If I by the time I'm done writing anything, I have arrows everywhere.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It looks like
we're making this list for like this plan that we have in the future. And like I had the first 2 lines. I had wrote stuff. I have fairly decent handwriting, but it's kind of trash. And then Rem comes in here. He's like, with like things crossed out, arrows back here and over here. And I'm like, what the fuck does this say?
And I always think I'm going to know what it means. And I never do.
Never remember.
Like I went home with that piece of paper and tried to show it to my wife, Danielle. She's like, what is this? And I tried my hardest to figure it out, but I couldn't.
No idea.
What about you, Chaz?
I don't know. I really can't think of anything at the moment, to be quite
Well, how's your handwriting, man?
Like, do you have any rituals before you start writing? Just something that you'd like the people watching?
No, I mean my ritual. No, I mean I also have really horrible handwriting.
Yes.
I've said this a million times, but I don't know. I'd say 99% of my songs that people have heard have been written in my car, whether driving or sitting in a parking lot. That's where I've always wrote. I'll write I might be in a supermarket and think of 1 or 2 bars and put it in my phone. But I'm saying majority of my songs are formatted and rehearsed and written in my car, either while driving or parked somewhere. It's something I've always done. We talked about being inspired. I don't just something about driving and being completely alone and listening to an instrumental on repeat for hours. Like that's just something that is just always how I've wrote. I don't know why, but that's who I am.
Right on.
Yeah.
Concur.
I do the same shit.
Wait, Colicchie, can I ask you, when you're driving, because I write songs while I'm driving too, and I've seen you when you're writing down here with your pen and pad. Now I don't. I'm younger than you, so like I write all stuff.
I'll never be a read my phone kind of guy ever.
Nah.
Never.
So, but like I'm saying, when you're driving, are you writing in a notepad while driving, or are you just
yeah, I could drive.
on your phone?
Honestly, I could drive to here to Florida with just my knees. No exaggeration.
My man, that's skill right there.
Listen, don't let him act like he's on that level. He had a car that drove itself because he wrecked too many. Right?
Yeah, I did not wreck any
I
cars.
literally used to drive with my knees and fucking, use the bottom of a pop can and fucking, pour everything in and
Wait, what is
and
it?
everything throw the car in and everything. Then
What
use
kind
the
of can is that?
seatbelt. Do this all while I'm driving to Walmart.
My man,
Right.
what kind of can was it though?
Probably usually a Sprite or a Faygo.
What is that?
I think we all have mastered the art of driving with our knees.
I don't think Faygo comes in a can. Faygo in bottles, so you can just shake.
You know what Faygo is?
Yeah, bro.
I just went to an ICP
Parts of the
concert.
country don't know what it is.
What? ICP?
Yeah.
Well, look.
ICP? What?
You
I
know
went to
why?
an ICP show. Don't ask me why.
You know why? Because we listen to Eminem, bro. Eminem talks about Faygo in Slim Shady LP. Like,
Because they spray Faygo root
Okay,
beer
yeah.
and call themselves clowns because they look different.
there you go. Oh, I mean,
Stick 2 liters up their rectum.
like over and clean. Doesn't rhyme. Yeah.
So where do you write your music, KC?
What's
Where do
that?
you write your music?
Oh, probably missionary eye contact. You don't break eye contact. Oh,
It's the best bet.
I was answering Jordan's question. No, honestly, man, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take Chaz's lead here, and I would say like just a little insight into the song creating process. And it's something that I learned from working with Jordon Meyer in the studio. The way that I approach a song now is once I pick, because I lease and buy instrumentals. So once I pick something that I really like, the first way I approach it is thinking of the melody. So I try to find a good melody for the hook and even, what direction I'm going with the verses. And then I choose the concept for the song.
Cool.
This is like 90% of the time, and try to come up with a few keywords for the hook, and then I'll write the song around that. So I always approach it by going at the melody first. And I don't know if that's different from anyone else. I just thought
Do you guys do that as well? Is that your technique? Do you guys pick the melody first, then write the lyrics?
I mean, most of the time I'll write the hook first. I would say like that, like not so much a I guess I don't purposely think like, hey, melody, I listen to hundreds of beats a day, and when one catches me.
Wow, that's a lot, dude. Hundreds, huh?
Well, you listen to 2 seconds.
Yeah, I literally listen. So because Higgy never asked me about my musical influences, I'll tell you, and it will kind of lead into this, but like my top 5 are Dylon. No. I just wanted to say that. Thanks for not asking me, Hig. Anyways. So,
I know better now.
Stay there for 2 hours.
2 hours, a way to say that. Now, my musical influence initially was bluegrass. Like I used to go to bluegrass festivals when I was like 4 and 5 years old with my mom, and she would go out and like hook up and get wasted and shit like that, because that's what normal people do. They go to bluegrass festivals and get wasted. But like I remember being in front of the stage and these guys playing the fiddle and playing the banjo and stuff, and the way that they played and the music that they played made me feel good. It made me happy. It made me like get excited or whatever. But that's when I learned that music can have an influence on the way that I feel. So like when I'm writing now, like Rem said, I'll listen to 10, 15 seconds of a beat or whatever is going to drop. And if it makes me feel good, great. If it, most of the time it doesn't make me feel good, and I skip to the next one. Music, I concur.
I concur.
Yeah, most of the time, once I find a beat that actually makes me feel something, whether it's good or bad or indifferent, I'll normally write the hook first. And so I have a ton of hooks in my phone that, like, because I'll start to write the song and then be like, nope, I don't like it anymore. You know, I'll wake up the next day and be like, don't like it anymore. And so I'll start the process all over again. And but yeah, that's how I write.
I have a question for everybody, except for Higgy, unless you write songs. I want to know how many songs, if you had to estimate, let's start with Colicchie. How many songs would you say that you started writing but just put in the vault and never went back to? How many unfinished projects do you have?
I don't know. Probably a decent amount. I'm a good starter, but a poor finisher, I guess you could say. So I definitely have. I have a decent amount, but I also have a lot of ones that I didn't like halfway through, but like I just kept writing and kept doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always tough to go back or to push through something when you're not feeling it anymore. I struggle with that.
Yeah, and there was times where by the time it came to recording the song, I was so sick of the beat and I'm like, I can't even believe I actually like this beat.
Yeah.
But then after you actually when you record the song and you listen into it, you know, and everything comes together, it's just like, okay, yeah, I can get with this.
Yeah.
Same thing. There's been plenty of times I've been in the studio recording and I'll just walk out of the booth. I'm like, Aaron, I'm not recording the song. He's like, no, bro, get back. I'm like, nah, dude, it sucks. I'm going to sit down right here and just rewrite it right now. I like the beat, but I hate the way that it comes out. He'll be like, no, just record it. We'll see how it sounds. And I mean, there's songs that I have out now that I dislike, that I don't want to hear, that I don't want to perform and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as unwritten songs, I mean, it's got to, I mean, just the ones in my phone, probably a few hundred, easily.
Yeah.
And like, so what I do and why I like doing it on my phone is that, you know, I might write a hook and a verse and a half and then scrap it. But I have some good content in there. I have some good bars, some good punchlines and metaphors that I like that I don't want to throw away. And, you know, I can, if I get stuck on a new song that I am liking, I'll go through my throwaways. I'll go through them and be like, I wonder if anything fits. I wonder if anything's along the lines of what I'm talking about now that works with what I'm saying. And I'll extract a line or two just to keep my inspiration going. And then, you know, the cool thing, like I said about my phone, I can just copy and paste it and put it into the new song. And so I have a handful of songs out there that, you know, people will never know that it's, you know, kind of like Frankenstein together with, you know, a couple of old songs. I mean, literally that's what it is. It's like, you know, I took a couple bars from here, a couple bars from here, but because my message is similar in what I'm saying, you know, it's really just the cadence and, you know, the rhyme scheme and stuff like that, and building off of that to finish the song that I'm working on now.
Yeah, I know I probably have hundreds because I don't write anything down. So when I'm writing,
he doesn't write, he doesn't type, nothing. It's all up here. All of it. The whole Jay-Z. Like, yeah, straight Jay-Z, bro. Like, 94 albums up there.
But this is the problem. I'm burnt. unless I have a good, you know, half hour to an hour to go over these 8 bars or whatever that comes to mind. You don't know how many times I'm like so excited. I might even call him and be like, bro, I'm working on it. It's fire. And then the next morning, I'm throwing shit because I'm like, I can't remember it. So I started to write. He convinced me to write a little bit,
1,000 times.
And it always starts the same way. I write half of the first verse down. That paper never makes it
Anywhere.
It's just actually writing it just helps me remember it a little better, and then the paper gets taller. It's convenient though when it's time to record because I get in here with Aaron and I'm like, go, all right, cool, put the next one on.
But and that's one thing for me, like with recording, like I don't record with my phone. I might have it there as like a reference,
right?
But like I learned that in the beginning because I used to rap off my phone, and I could tell the difference between a song that like I rapped while I was looking at the words on my phone and a song that I remembered off the top. And like there's more emphasis, there's more enthusiasm, there's more passion in my voice and things that I'm saying when I am coming up with it off the top, and it's there and I'm feeling it rather than just reading it.
Feeling it.
I'm feeling it. Dylan.
So Rim is the only artist that I've ever heard in my life that can spit 60 bars and not say the same word twice.
And he's gonna do it for you right after this commercial.
I don't know. Definitely not the only one, but
pretty sure Colicchie did it for like 7 minutes. But
yeah,
no.
So
with all these guys,
I have a question. Are we all
Rem's talking?
I'm just joking.
Are you spazzing out? Did I cut you off again?
Every time, Brent. Hey, every time.
Are we all felons?
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Yo, tatted. Yeah, bro. Go back to that.
That's a flag. That's a flag right there.
Then he's like, oh, there's a phone ring. What's up, guys? Didn't know you were there.
I'm not a felon. Why? You guys have records?
KC has a tattoo of Tony Hawk on his thigh. Are you?
I have no, dude. That's not true. I don't have a tattoo of Tony Hawk on my inner thigh. I saw that comment. That's not true.
But you have tattoos, right, KC?
No, I'm actually tattoo-less.
All right, so we're gonna get tatted this week.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know.
You never know what's going to happen when you fall asleep.
You don't have to answer this question, KC. Are you Jewish?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why? Are they not allowed to get tattoos?
No. Yeah, so we live in Baltimore. There's it's a large, and like a lot of my friends are Jewish, and
you have friends
that are practicing. You know, that's like one of the things is like you can't.
No, I'm not opposed to getting tattoos. I just I haven't found one that strikes me like I need to get this tattoo. So I may.
Yeah.
Is that funny?
You get this.
What is that?
Your first tattoo. Get this.
What is that?
I don't know what it is. It was a
Looks like a Crayola crayon drawing.
It looks like a tribal praying mantis.
Right, yeah.
Is that a unicorn? Is that a unicorn?
It looks like a spade.
It's a Leopardon.
I don't know what that is.
It was a horrible night. I was literally lighting the stem for the guy while he was tattooing me. I was 20. It was a long time ago.
Oh, God.
It doesn't care that I was 20. It's still here.
So, KC, what you have to do, and this is what people have told me, is like if you want to make it as a rapper, your first tattoo has to be a face tat.
Facial tattoo.
Over the eyebrow face tat. Like not even something here. You gotta get like
it has to say hopeless.
Yeah.
Oh, powerless.
Yeah, powerless. Just over the eyebrow. You gotta go hard with it, dude.
Hope dealer.
Yes.
That's how you blow up. I'm just trying to help you out, you know.
No, I appreciate it.
Hey, we'll do it together this weekend. You go first.
So let's give a shout out to the girls from Glorious Recovery. I'd like to give them props for putting together an amazing event. They have really pulled out all the stops on this, organized this to the T. They have a phenomenal team of people working together in the community, and they are so looking forward to having you guys there. You know, just come in, fellowshipping, hearing you guys do your music, and taking pictures, hanging out. And Alexa and Dorota, you guys have done a phenomenal job. And I want to thank you for what you're doing for our community in your area. And speaking for myself, I just want to say I'm honored, and I feel privileged to be able to play a role in this with you guys, with these guys.
Absolutely. They've done a great job. They've been and had great communication with me for a long time. Months ago, you know, it was planned and stuff like that. And when they reached out, and you know, it's always great to be a part of an event where people take it seriously, and they want to make sure that it, you know, all I's are dotted and T's are crossed.
Quality.
Absolutely. So it's been great. They've all been great. You know, I'm really excited to come up there. I don't think we didn't go to Connecticut. I don't think I've ever been to Connecticut.
Yep.
And I hear it's like down by the beach, boy.
Down by the beach, boy.
Hardcore, dog.
Do they have pop?
Do they what?
Do they have pop?
Pop? Oh, they got pop?
Pop?
Nah.
We don't soda, dude.
We don't drink pop in Baltimore. We drink soda.
Soda. So
Dude,
future projects are individually. Do you all have any albums coming out?
Yeah, Casey.
Any new singles?
Casey album's dropping. KC said his album's dropping June
You guys
13th.
are cutting out.
Higgy, I can't hear you. Higgy, where'd you go?
I don't have any solidified dates for an album drop right now. I mean, I have, you know, like that question I asked you. I have so many songs that are written or half complete songs like that. But I have like 13 songs that are in the studio, half recorded, and just need to be finished up. I just made the list like last week. I don't know how many of those I want to put on an album or not, and I don't have a solid date, but I definitely have been working on a lot of stuff, and I'll be announcing in the future when something's coming up.
You got a solid album right now to push.
I got and the feedback on my debut has been really good, and I'm super grateful for that because
Absolutely,
it's done all right.
This was great, man.
I definitely have new stuff coming, but I'm not rushing anything. I go back and I listen to the last two projects that I did, and I don't know, it makes me cringe at how much I rushed it. Like last year, you were like, "We got shows, Rem," and I was like, "Well, I'm working, I'll make it there." It was like 2 weeks before Music Fest. I came in
And just laid it all down.
and I don't want to do that again. I want to take it more seriously, put more time and effort into it, and get it to where I'm very happy with it before I post it.
August 12th or
when's yours, B-Rain?
Full circle
August?
drops August 3rd. So yeah, so
so close. Dude.
so
Who
close.
are your musical influences again? So we got this
Dylan, and Dylan.
Dylan.
Spits hot fire.
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 Chaz, real quick.
Oh,
You have any albums? You have an album
I
dropping?
mean, really, basically what everyone else just said. Just taking my time with certain songs until then. I have a lot of stuff also that I've started and yet not completed. I mean, I would love to say, in the near future. I don't know. I'm focused on. I want to focus a lot on songs that I will be able to perform that I know that will be good instead of just like rapping for 8 minutes straight or something like that. I'm trying to take my time as far as like actually making stuff that's like catchy, not like switching my style or anything, but I just want to kind of take a different approach to music, and I think that I'm gonna start doing that in the future. But yeah, just like how everyone else is saying, I'm really not rushing anything. really trying to just give, the songs that I come up with and create, just give it my all.
Yeah, that I gotta say, like, that's for me. Like, I remember when I had like that. I don't want to say epiphany because I feel like people talk to me about it, and having that change in like my writing style, like with the the thought process to like I'm gonna perform this because it wasn't, I had done a handful of shows and I remember like the switch between, like Journey to 754 and this last album and even my first album, Journey to 754, just in knowing, hey, I'm going to be on stage. I need to, make sure I have these in mind and these things in mind when I'm writing it, what's going to not just have a message and be influential in people's lives, but it's going to get people engaged and have people remember it and have people, enjoying the experience live as well as enjoying the experience when they're listening to it on Spotify or iTunes or watching a music video and stuff. So that's cool that you said that, because like I said, I feel like just as an artist in general, the four of us have made it, far beyond what probably 90% of people that want to create music make it to. You know what I mean? As far as like people that do music videos, do shows and travel out of state to perform at shows and stuff like that. Like 90% of people never make it out of their studio. 90% of people never even record a song because that fear or whatever it may be that keeps them from growing through the process, and then they quit and give up. So I feel like we're in good company. So
Absolutely.
So I was speaking with a dear friend of mine and mentor in Ohio over the weekend, and he made the comparison between We Are Cloud Gang and Wu-Tang Clan. How do you feel about that?
I'd say we're more like Slaughterhouse, but yeah.
The insane clown posse, ICP. You guys more like ICP?
Never. Casey,
no, but
ICP though.
What is a juggalo?
Yeah. See, that's why he doesn't have any tattoos. Whenever he wants, he can change it.
I got a Hatchet Man tramp tamp.
Right next to Tony Hawk. Is he chasing Tony Hawk?
Casey, this is why I don't get in the studio late, because this is what happens. I just get all giggles. This is why I get in the studio. I always get in the studio in the morning to record. So I get in the studio late. I'm just giggles. I get nothing done. So, good to know you.
How many nights we come into the studio to work and get nothing accomplished?
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's got to be in the morning. It's got to be fresh. And also, I feel like my vocal cords are fresher in the morning. I like the way that my voice sounds in the morning compared to the evening.
So what can, speaking back to the Glorious Recovery event, what can we expect to hear from you guys?
Hold on. I feel like you need to finish. You didn't explain
the
Wu-Tang thing. You guys are like Wu-Tang, and that's a horrible analogy.
And then Colicchie got up and left.
That's a horrible analogy.
So what I'll say is, like, I like the idea and concept behind that, but We Are Cloud Gang is more of a movement. It's more of a movement. It's everybody that's watching this, everybody that is a fan, like that, their lifestyle is to lift each other up. Like it's not a band or a group. I feel like what we are doing as a collective can be, similar to Wu-Tang, like all these individual artists, just like Colicchie said with Slaughterhouse. It's like individual artists who have their own careers and own lanes and own independent or individual music, but also come together for these incredibly dope tracks and stuff like that. Colicchie, thanks for joining us again. Colicchie back after that last commercial. Now
well, what I like about the comparison is that Wu-Tang started out as friends getting together that had a love for music, and they all created nicknames for themselves. They had their own styles. They came together. They created community. They created their own lane in the music industry, and I believe that is a very, very, very amazing compliment to you guys and what you got going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a nickname for Chaz. It's gonna be called Tan Man.
Tan.
Got a nice tan.
Thank you.
Yeah, Planet Fitness all day. Sure.
So Chaz, for those that don't know, why do you use the stage name Colicchie?
It was my grandmother's maiden name, and years ago, before I started rapping, I started thinking of names, and I don't know. I guess at that time it was all the the Littles and the Youngs and all the lame stuff. So
Right.
it just like it. I was literally on vacation with my friends in West Palm Beach, and it just like hit me, and it was just like I was like Colicchie, and then people I was with, they were like, "Yeah, I like it," and so from that moment forward, that's what I chose to call myself.
That's very, very, very unique, and then when you hear it, you remember it.
No.
You don't spell correctly though. It's definitely the most misspelled rap name of all time.
But it's got great SEO, so.
Yeah.
KC,
Yo.
your stage name. Why did you choose that?
Because Casey Makes Movies didn't make sense.
Casey makes pornos.
What about Casey Makes Man?
Casey makes low budget porn. Man, I swear to God, I'll be in the car with my boys and they'll just start roasting me and they'll just start saying Casey Makes and like just come up with like a list of things. Honestly, man,
You need to do this like a weekly like a half-hour segment of just like KC Makes ...
Yeah.
Have people just go live or like have people or do a video or something.
Like
I feel
wrong,
like
wrong answers only.
yeah, wrong answers only. That could be like the series, like the show behind the music. KC Makes.
We'll do contests and giveaways for the best Casey.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I just honestly, man, I just wanted something. I wanted to use my name, but like so KC, right? I released a single under KC, and nobody could ever find it because there were so many KCs. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, like I make music, it's like the most basic thought process you could ever come up with. My rap name was when I was like 17, it was Civilized. Right. And I was like, yo, that's pretty cool. And I was like, but like, I'm not that civilized, like I got caught up in drugs for like 15 years. So like, I just wanted to keep something, like easy to remember for people and, so that it's easy to find. And I think Casey Makes Music kind of did that, it's worked out pretty well. And I'm just running with it, man. I still, I go by Casey, so it's easy.
Absolutely. REM ONE.
Yes, sir.
You're up. Next question.
What are your musical influences?
My musical
why did you pick REM ONE as your
because initially it was Remedy, and it's been Remedy since.
Remedy meaning what?
Listen, let me explain.
Linda, listen.
Linda, listen.
It's been Remedy since MC Remedy, since like 1990. You know what I mean? When I first, because I used to sit and think about performing on a stage. I mean, I'm talking when I was 5 or 6 years old, and I didn't have the confidence or belief in myself that I could ever write that. So I used to imagine myself. I was like, one day there's going to be a lane for me to rap other people's music on stage. Like I'm a kid. You know what I mean? But I came up with Remedy. And never did anything with it. Got involved with drugs for most of my life. And when I finally decided to put a song out, I Googled the name and I went on YouTube and looked for the name. Million Remedies. There's a Remedy who actually travels with Wu-Tang. There's a couple DJ remedies. One's from Baltimore. So I shortened it to Rem. I was like, okay, I'm just going to be Rem. And then I just added the one because I feel like I'm the original.
Because I'm the only one. The only one.
And it also kind of sounded like a graffiti tag. Rem One sounded like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sounded like a tag, and I was really stuck in the '90s when it came to it. So,
So B-Rain, who else from the team is going to be coming into Fairfield, Connecticut?
Rewind.
What?
Piggy, you hurt the man's feelings. Ask him how he got his name.
Oh man. Brian, please share with us.
It's just Brian spelled backwards. That's it. No biggie. No, just kidding. So yeah. My name's Brian, and growing up, like in elementary school, in the school that I went to, when kids got in trouble, they got their name written on the board, and for whatever reason, people, when they spell Brian out, they always spell it Brain. I don't understand why teachers don't know how to spell Brian. But I was in second grade and my name got on the board because I didn't know how to not get in trouble. And kids like, oh, B-Rain got his name on the board again. Then when you got 2 check marks, you went to the principal's office. And so he said it again when I went to the principal's office. And it kind of just like stuck. I used a lot, and like probably like 12 or 13. My rap name was Felonious Monk, and like in my mind, like, I was like I said, 11, 12 years old. I was content with being a felon. Like I knew that that's what was my outcome was going to be. So Felonious Monk was my my rap name, and I never did anything with it. You know, I was too busy, you know, getting high. And when I got clean, I got a job. And I sold cell phones. I was really good at it. I worked my way up to be a manager, and this is probably right before I started like really taking music seriously, or like getting outside of my fear of like rapping in front of other people, because I was a closet rapper forever. I didn't let people know that I made music, and my boss came in. He was like, B-Rain's at it again, because I was like, I don't know, I was probably making a sale or something like that, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be my rap name. All right, well, let's go. And you know, the reason I capitalize it the way that I do is the same reason that We Are Cloud Gang is what it is, because I am not the most important person when it comes to the music. It's like it's everybody that listens to it. It's everybody that takes on like the meaning and the message behind the music and lifting each other's up. And you know, doing the right thing, like that.
I got a visual of you talking about the classroom of the Key. Remember Key and Peele skit?
Yes. Hey, Ron.
We got a B-Rain.
Hey, y'all congratulate Pammy Turley. She's gonna have a year clean tomorrow.
All right.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, great
Sorry,
job. Wait,
I'm afraid to talk now. Like,
don't worry, you're not cutting anybody off right now. Now you can segue into the next thing you were going to say before Colicchie falls asleep.
Okay, one thing I'd like to say is, this has been the longest Survivor Series video to date. Shea Sassano had the record last time. He did a solo Survivor Series for 2 hours. And this one has gone 2 hours, 12 minutes.
Nice.
So you guys
driving
guys,
home.
I mean, technically it says 1 hour 57 minutes, but
That's right, because Rem was late. I mean, wait, nobody knew that before now. Nobody knew that Rem was late. Right, everybody that's watching Rem was late. He's the reason that
The last remark will be stricken from the record.
I concur.
you know, Memorial Day, Fairfield, Connecticut.
Yes.
Hey, that
Yeah.
was a genius idea, Casey. Thanks
way
for
to
saying
go.
Are we leaving? I just want to
Make shout outs.
Congratulations, Angel. He's got 4 weeks. Keep
Nice.
stacking days. Keep
awesome.
stacking days.
That's huge.
Well, we've all been there one time or another.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Memorial day.
Have I missed anything in this interview that you guys would like to share?
No, but I want to shout out my beautiful wife, Danielle. Check her out. Danny Life Coach on Instagram. I think that's what it is. She's going to kill me if I got that wrong.
She has transformed it within this last year.
Dude, I'm so proud of her, bro. So proud. She asked me, last Christmas, she asked me to buy her a treadmill for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so pissed about it. I was like, great. I'm buying a $800 clothes hanger. I know it. And she put that thing to work, man. And she absolutely has transformed.
Mm-hmm.
She says mine was 2 hours, 30 minutes. Okay, you guys got 30 more minutes to go.
Colicchie's gonna rap just one song, but it's gonna get us over the.
That's cool, man. We don't have lives or anything, you know.
Yeah, nothing like that. No. Yeah, we don't have to like get up tomorrow morning and get the van for to drive to Connecticut or
For a group of guys like ourselves that have attention deficit disorder and hyperactivity, naturally, having us all sit together here for almost 2 hours, just chopping it up and just ragging on each other, and I want to thank you guys again for doing this.
Everybody's about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
So one at a time, let's close this out by giving the newcomer a hope shot. So somebody out there that's struggling, what would you say to them? Anyone that might have relapsed that's trying to find their way back in?
I would say for me, the biggest thing I did was just get out of my own way and learn to take suggestions. I thought I could find a way around everything. I was a great con man. I could find my way around bills. I could find my way around going to jail when I had warrants. I just could never find my way to, not get high. And I always thought I could. So when I came to that realization that it's me that's causing these problems, right? So let me just get out of my own way, take suggestions, and throw my hands up because I obviously don't know shit. Like my whole life changed. So that's my suggestion. Just give yourself a chance and get out of your own way.
Absolutely. B. Rain.
There's no shortcuts. Like I was saying it earlier, there's no shortcuts. We all had 1 day clean at one point in time, and we all had 2 days clean. I've heard plenty of people say like, oh, well, I only have X amount of clean time. I can relapse and make it back. And I've buried a lot of people that had those thoughts. But, there's no shortcuts to getting recovery. There's no shortcuts to obtaining clean time. Just allow somebody to help you. That's there's so many people that are willing to help, allow people to help you. Because, a lot of people will reach out, and then when they don't get help from the people that they have expectations are going to help them, they don't accept any help from the other people that did say that they're willing to help, but that's the thing. Like, we don't get to pick and choose where our help comes from. It just shows up when we need it. And so, yeah,
that's right.
Shortcuts, allow people to help you. Patience and perseverance.
Chaz, Colicchie.
Steven.
I don't know. I guess I could say, this is hard to do, but I would say like don't put a lot of emphasis on how you feel. Good feelings pass. But so do horrible ones. And even for myself, like life gets hard. Along the lines. Last week of my life has been beyond stressful, but like I didn't let it stop my progression. I didn't let it stop me from what I'm trying to do. And to really just roll with it. Like I hit this state of comfortability where my faith has increased tremendously. Where it's like it does not matter what goes on or what happens in my life. Like I know that I'm going to be taken care of, and I know that I'm going to be okay. And just having that alone, has lifted the weight and the burdens off of my shoulders. I'm serious, man. I just really don't worry about a lot of stuff. It has to be really big for it to take me out of my element. So it really is just trying to handle life with acceptance, and like unconditional surrender in all areas of my life. And really just, I like everyone has said, just like the perseverance and just whatever, anything I want to change in my life, whether it is just anything I want to change, like I am the only one that has the power to do that. So I have to be willing to put the work in, and I have to be willing to, to go that extra length to really achieve my goals. And it is. I wake up every morning, and I'm just grateful, and for the life that I was given, for the life that I have, and I don't ever lose sight of that. Like remembering where I came from, and where I am today, really does give me the drive, motivation, and dedication to keep going. Because, like I said in the past, because I'm the person that has given up in the past, and and I always regretted it. I always destroyed my life, self-sabotaged, burned bridges, destroyed relationships, whatever you want to say. But like this time, I'm just focused. I can't even really put it into words, but I feel like I almost feel like it's just it's this different chapter of my life that where I almost had to go through everything that I went through in order to get here, and I really am blessed when I say that.
You are. How important is being a father to you?
It's very important. My daughter, is the biggest. Like seriously, is the best thing that ever happened to me. Getting clean and being able to be responsible enough for another human being is something that like someone as selfish as me. It's something I never would have ever thought that I would be able to do. So, she is also my motivation, and she makes me want to do better every day of my life. And like I seriously mean that. It is. It's a beautiful thing.
100%, man. Yeah. Casey Conklin.
I thought he was going to skip him.
I did too, man. I've been like planning out this like thing in my head, and I'm like, he's gonna skip me, man. He's gonna skip me.
Who are your musical influences?
Dial on. No, I want to talk about just real quick, like being an active addiction, right? And for me, it was like, at a certain point, it was just waking up every single day and just living to scheme to figure out, how I was going to get high, no relationships left. And like everything, like my life was like constantly on the edge of completely crumbling to pieces, and, it's like I'm getting evicted from my apartment, and I haven't paid my car insurance, and, I don't have a job, but like my mind just kept telling me like, oh, I'm getting a paycheck. I've got a good come up coming in a couple days. I'm going to make a few bucks. I'm going to take care of this, that, and the other thing. And then that day would come, and I wouldn't do anything except spend the money to use and get high, and that cycle kind of perpetuated for a long time. And I would say to anybody like caught in that vicious cycle, like one, it's like our brains are designed to lie to us and tell us why we're gonna be all right and why we're gonna be able to figure it all out, but we never follow it through with action, and that's been my experience at least. So when you have that moment of holy shit, like I need to change my life, like I'm miserable and desperate inside, you need to like latch onto that, and in that very moment, not wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow is this non-existent place that never comes. And reach out in that moment, and reach out to somebody and get somewhere and do something in that moment. And once you start taking actions, you got to wake up every morning, or for me, my experience was that I have to wake up every morning and stay optimistic and be like, all right, what actions can I take today? Because like that, I have faith in God and ease and comfort, but it's like, if I'm not taking actions, faith without works is dead, right? So take like positive and constructive actions on a daily basis, and get with like-minded people that are doing the same thing, and that's what's worked for me, is reaching out in that moment when you're feeling that, and not putting it off, because sometimes, that tomorrow doesn't come, and that's the harsh reality for, quite a few friends of mine that, they never made it out.
Absolutely. I can tell all of you guys are working solid programs, and it shows in your social media interaction. The way you interact with the people that follow your pages, your fans, and so on and so forth, and the lyrics of your songs. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys once again. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Fairfield, Connecticut for the Glorious Recovery Summerfest 2019, Fairfield, Connecticut, starting at, Alexa, I think it's 5 o'clock. We're going to start six. Oh, Chaz is gone. I've had enough of this shit. And then we have, bring this up real quick.
There you go.
Kenzie rocks.
Awesome.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Kenzie rocks in Delta, Pennsylvania. This beautiful little girl right here. We're coming together to love on her and raise some funds.
On the flyer, I believe it says it starts at noon, but that's for the motorcycle ride. I will hit the stage at 6. B Rain's headlining. So if people just want to come for the music, we start at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely. Climb for Recovery guys are coming in. Travis Gilbert will be introducing the man, the myth, the legend, REM ONE.
What?
Yeah, all the guys. I'm not sure if Shay is going to make it, but the majority of the Climb for Recovery guys are going to be there. Now, Josh Sears is going to be with me introducing B-Ray. How remarkable of a comeback story is that?
It's amazing.
Amazing, bro.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
All right. I love you guys very much. Thank you for doing this. Alexa, Dorota, we love you. We love you. There will be. I have no more wear available that will be up there to support nomoreheroin.org. You guys having merch up there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I was gonna say for like anybody that's watching that doesn't already follow KC, go follow KC's page. Just type in KC Makes Music. For anybody that doesn't already follow REM ONE, just type in REM ONE. Follow him. Me, B-Rain, Colicchie. Everybody. I know obviously if they're on here, they're probably following No More Heroin. But if you're not, go follow the page. To see what we're all doing because we're doing some cool things. This yes, this show is happening this weekend, but there's plenty more things coming down the pipe in the near future. So make sure you follow the pages.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, sure, bro.
Alexa, turn the lights off.
You got it.
All right, you guys. Thanks everyone that has hung out for this lengthy live feed. Appreciate you guys. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys this week. I'm looking forward to meeting you face to face and hanging out. KC, you and Jordan, you guys are gonna rock it Monday.
Got an hour drive home. My gas gauge is to the left, and I need food, so I got to.
Those are lyrics. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys, and Higgy, I appreciate you, man. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Absolutely, bro.
See ya.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're out. Well, they jumped off right away. You did too.